Welcome to the Gunning Truth with Roni, and Arsenal just had their first pre-season game of the season, and what can I say? A fantastic first half from Arsenal, loads of little bits of interesting tactical analysis to do on the game, and obviously Arsenal, the moment I saw the team sheet, so you've got Ramsdale in goal in the new green shirt, White, Saliba, Gabriel and Kiwior. So I always thought to myself that Arsenal's going to be trying to use both fullbacks in inverted roles. And throughout that first half, you could see Arteta trying a couple of interesting, neat tricks. Obviously, Man City also doing something similar especially with Jones. But you could see that White was quite a bit into midfield, and then Saliba, Gabriel, Kiwior, or shall I say Saliba more to the right, Kiwior more to the centre, and then going into midfield, and Gabriel Magalhaes more towards the left. So a very interesting tactical way. I'm still getting my head around it, but I think Arsenal, they are on the right track here. I know it was a very bad second half from Arsenal, loads of mistakes, players that's very likely not going to be here once again. Unfortunately, that's always the case in the beginning of pre-season, but a very strong team from Arsenal. And there were times when Kiwior was at left back, and Arsenal then had Ben White at right centre-back, Saliba at centre-back, and then left centre-back, Gabriel Magalhaes. So quite a lot of things that changed in between. And then obviously at times, so what would happen is our fullback, whether it's White or, let's say, Kiwior in this case, they would join Thomas Partey in midfield, and then you've got Trossard pushing up. Unfortunately, as per the screenshot, funny enough, they're next to each other. Trossard got injured in the second half, and Odegaard got injured in just before the game in the warm-up. Doesn't seem serious, but then again, so 3 minutes ago, I saw on Twitter that he was limping, so that's not good. And there's quite a lot of players. We've got all the players that was injured at the back end of last season. They are still stepping up their preparations. We haven't got the two signings, which I will discuss now, in yet. And then one or two players looked a bit, everybody's off the pace, but there was a couple of players that's completely off the pace. And very disappointing second half from Balogun. He looked very exciting, but his finishing, it's weird. He just played for the United States not too long ago, so he didn't really have an off-season, if you think about it. He had an excellent season at home, the French team. But he missed two sitters, and Jesus also created some good chances. Havertz was a little bit quiet when he came on. Once again, very difficult to analyze when the season has the season hasn't started. It's the first pre-season game. Arteta said in his post-match little presser that Arsenal have only had 3 training sessions, or 3 serious training sessions, and obviously a lot of fitness and gym work as well. So all these things has to be taken into account. But a 1-1 disjointed second half, very weird goal. Arsenal obviously trying to play out from the back, and it just seemed like players in the second half, they haven't probably even trained together properly yet. And that's why Arsenal struggled a bit in the second half. All these things are understandable. Nuremberg weren't that great. It's their 5th preseason game of the little preseason. And so they are obviously quite a bit ahead with regards to match sharpness as well as fitness, because I'm sure none of their players are internationals. So they obviously have been quite early busy with the preseason preparation. So 1-1 result. Obviously last season we won 5-3. Probably had worse players last season and still won 5-3 with Jesus making his debut and looking good. Saka looked good. He was kicked again all over the place. So very disappointing that nonsense is still continuing. And then, of course, just a little bit of a look at our youngsters. Nwaneri, it's been said all over the place that so many clubs were looking at him, big clubs, and he looked fantastic. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Arsenal can actually make use of him. And then Miles Lewis-Skelly looked good as well. So these are 2 up-and-coming youngsters that's really, really good. I don't know if we're going to loan them out. Don't know if we're going to use them. But obviously they have been promised certain things. That's why they have signed their scholarship. So really exciting. Rule Walters looked good as well. And then players that I've sat and watched the game, and I'm talking to myself obviously while watching the game, but I was quite critical on Nketiah and Vieira. I don't know if I just don't like them what it is, because obviously there were other players that was also not really passing the ball well in the game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle Nketiah this upcoming season. But again, it's not the criticism on a first preseason game, because there was loads of other players that I prefer, even that had a little bit of off passes. But I just feel there's some players that, we say this all the time, that needs to stake a claim. And I felt Nketiah and Balogun, I don't know how they are going to be able to assist us in what's going to be a taxing season. So I don't know what's the story there, but we'll see how things go. As things stand, once again, there's rumours going out that Arsenal are not quite finishing the deals for Timber and Rice. I'm sure it's all done. I'm sure it's just the media panicking. I'm sure it's just clubs trying to be funny at the end of the deals. So West Ham, for example, they were funny with Arsenal the entire time when Arsenal were trying to keep things under wraps with regards to the discussions of the deal. And yes, maybe Arsenal lowballed at first. It just seems like there's a bit of sourness when it comes to the whole Rice situation. But I'm confident that tomorrow, Friday, the 14th of July, we will be announcing the Timber deal, and I'm pretty confident that Saturday will be Declan Rice, because these guys both need to get onto the plane on Sunday to go to the States. We play Man United. So, well, first of all, we play the MLS All-Stars with no Messi. And then we play Man United and then Barcelona. So, tricky games. So, if it is that, yes, we don't want to be in a situation where we've got, this... We're still trying to figure things out, because Arteta is trying to maybe be a little bit smart with regards to how he's using his fullbacks and how he infiltrates that into the midfield, how he's going to incorporate Timber, Rice and Havertz into the squad. So it's still exciting times, but we need to obviously also be careful with criticizing, myself included, because I'm basically criticizing the likes of Vieira and Nketiah when they probably did a couple of good things in the game as well. So that's where we leave it. I just thought I'd do a short video on the game. I was excited to watch the Arsenal, but then the moment you start, the game starts, and you just remember it is pre-season. The guys are training quite hard when it comes to the actual training part of pre-season, so it's very difficult. They're just obviously trying to infiltrate a couple of new things when the game actually takes place. So very good goal from Saka to start off with. A little bit of a poor second half, but we move. Come on, you Gunners. MLS All-Stars next week. It will be early hours on Thursday the 20th. And then obviously 2 days later, I think it's Saturday the 22nd, the evening, we play Manchester United. Come on, you Gunners.